doubt what the speaker is saying, and also doubt very much more your own reactions to what you hear the speaker say. Doubt, the seed of doubt. Not what you doubt, but the seed. Let it move, let it flower, let it grow till it finds what is truth. And to be alone, so to inquire into the nature of that, to find out the truth of that, not the statement of it, the truth of the statement. You understand? Hearing the statement and then accepting the words of that statement, but not discovering for oneself the depth of that word. I hope we're all getting together on this. It's pretty hot here. As we were saying the other day, we have sought security in the things of the thought. Right? In the things that thought has put together, which is in the community, in the family, in the community, in a larger community, and so on. Security in isolation. Security in the country, in the nation, in belonging to something, belonging to this group or to that group, belonging to that church or not, you follow? Belonging. And we have sought security in that. So one discovers for oneself that there is no security in isolation. Right? Now, how is that a fact? Or just a theory? See that is, if it is a theory, it has no, there are multiple theories. But if you examine your own desire to be secure, and you will find, if you pursue it, one has sought security in isolation. The isolation may be enormous, but still isolation. This process of isolation is fragmentation. Right? Are we saying something extraordinary, or are we following each other? Where there is the pursuit of security in isolation, the Arab world, you follow, outwardly, the pursuit of isolation and seeking security in that isolation is fragmentation. And then the problem arises, how can the fragments be brought together? That's a wrong question altogether. Right? Because in fact, the search for security in isolation is the cause. Unless one is free of that cause, there is no fragmentation. And therefore there is no search in isolation. Either the isolation of the family or the self-centered isolation. I wonder if you catch all this. Somebody say yes.
Yes.
See what is actually happening in the world. I'm asking my friend to look very closely at what is happening. The family, community, the larger community, the nation, isolating processes. And therefore in that isolation there is the search for supreme power, politically, really, the whole sense of gaining power. And so there is more and more confusion, more and more problems, more and more destruction. This is very clear if you go into it. Not casually, not reading a lot of books, but to see the fact of it in oneself. So one has to inquire much more to find out what it is that we are why we are seeking security. Not that we should not have security. Physically, as we said, there must be security. For the baby to grow up, there must be security. For the man to live, at least temporarily, happily, he must have security. He must have food, clothes, house. But this process of isolation is denying all that to everybody. Each government is concerned with itself, with its own economy, with its own people, saving through the war its own people, not the other people. I don't know if you heard the other day, a general talking about the last war, this war over the little island far south. He said, the general said, I do not like to kill people, but we must kill them, but primarily we must save our people. And they are trained for that. So if one sees the enormous significance, the fact, the truth, that in isolation there is never no security whatsoever. Do we see this? Before we go any further, it's very difficult to break down the condition of the brain, which has been taught, educated, conditioned to live, to seek its own fulfillment in isolation.